It's time for KRGB Channel 5's Masterminds, a program geared towards Valley High School academics. With your host, Tim Smith. Today, Feria High School and Raymondville Early College High School match wits in their quest to become this year's Masterminds champions.
Hello everybody and welcome to Masterminds. It is round one competition today with Raymondville Early College and Feria, and let's get right to it with our quick start questions and on your buzzers. Here we go. What's the common name for the radical sign? That's Feria, Nick.
Square root.
That's correct. Spell superficial. Feria, Nick.
S-U-P-E-R-F-I-C-I-A-L.
That's correct. Solve for each unknown. 4a plus 55 equal 9a. Feria, Nick.
A equals 11.
Correct. Name the state that borders both Michigan and Pennsylvania. All right, Feria, Nick.
Illinois.
No? Raymondville, anybody? Ring in if you know. And time's up. Ohio. What planet was almost named George's star in honor of England's George III? All right, Feria, Nick.
Mercury.
No? Raymondville, anybody want to try? And time's up. Uranus. In scientific theory, what usually follows cause? Feria, Nick.
Effect.
Yes. Define the word conspicuous. Feria, is up to you.
One of suspicious behavior.
Judges accept that? No? Okay. Raymondville, anybody want to try that one? That time was up. Noticeable is kind of the definition. The Democratic Party traces its history back to 1787, when who founded it? All right, Feria, is up to you.
Adams.
No? Raymondville, anybody? And time's up. Thomas Jefferson. The Rocky Mountain Bighorn sheep is the state animal of what state? All right, Feria, Nick.
Colorado.
Yes, that's right. What's the cube root of 512? All right, that's Raymondville Lillian.
8.
That's correct, and you're on the board, and that wraps up our quick start for today.
Masterminds is supported in part by Navy Army Community Credit Union.
So after our quick start, it's Feria 50, Raymondville Early College 10. Let's meet our judges who are here today from the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Dr. Megan Burke, Associate Professor of History and Graduate Coordinator in the College of Liberal Arts, and Dr. Noreen Rivera, Assistant Professor in the Department of Literatures and Cultural Studies. Give our judges a round of applause for the hard work they do, the tough decisions they have to make. They work hard. All right, it's almost time for Hot Topics, but before we do that, let's meet the team from Feria. We'll start with Diego.
Hello, my name is Diego Ochoa. I'm currently a Feria High School junior. I am the BPA Vice President, and I am currently a National Honor Society member.
Terrific.
Hi, I'm Nick Porter. I'm a junior at Feria High School. I'm an AP scholar. I'm a member of the National Honor Society, and I'm the current UIL Chemistry State Champion.
Fantastic. Welcome.
Howdy, I'm Sabdir Rothschild, a senior at La Feria High School. I'm a LIDA scholar, CHCI alumnus, and youth ambassador to Colombia under the Partners of the Americas.
Terrific. Welcome the team from Feria High School participating in today's Mastermind. Yes. All right, Feria, it's time for Hot Topics. You're playing by yourselves. 3 questions about current events, okay? Don't need your buzzers. Take the first answer we hear from the team, okay? Name the all-star forward from the Boston Celtics who went down with a dislocated ankle and broken tibia less than 5 minutes into the 2017 basketball season. And time's up. That was Gordon Hayward. Major Democratic donor Tom Steyer has donated $10 million to a campaign to do what? And time's up. Impeach Donald Trump. 5 ex-presidents of the United States gathered on the campus of Texas A&M for a fundraiser for hurricane relief. Name them.
Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush, George Bush, Barack Obama, and
Clinton.
And Bill Clinton. That's right. Got all 5 of them. Good job. All right. So that puts you up to 60 points, Feria. Let's meet the team now from Raymondville Early College. We'll start with Angelica.
Hello, my name is Angelica. I'm a senior at Raymondville Early College High School. I am a student council and I'm a member of the National Honor Society.
Welcome.
My name is Lillian. I'm a senior. I am in the National Honor Society. I'm in art club, student council, and I play tennis.
Welcome.
My name's Joanne Theo. I'm a senior. I'm in NHS and I play basketball and in math UIL.
Fantastic. Welcome the team from Raymondville Early College participating in today's Masterminds team. Good to have you here. All right, hot topics for you. Same rules apply. 3 questions, current events, no buzzers, okay? U.S. Olympians from what sport are now coming forward with claims they were sexually assaulted by Team Dr. Larry Nasser?
Russia?
No, it was a sport of gymnastics. 2 months into his tenure as director, Christopher Wray says he just wants to bring some normalcy to the agency. What is Wray the head of? And time's up, the FBI. What longtime late-night talk show host was recently awarded the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor? And time was up. That was David Letterman. David Letterman. So you stand at 10 points. So we go to a break. The score is the Feria 50, Raymondville Early College 10. We'll be back right after this. We'll meet the teacher coordinators, do quick picks, the grab bag round, and more. Don't go away. Welcome back to Masterminds Round 1 competition today. Raymondville Early College and Feria. Feria in the lead 60-10. We corrected the score during the break. Let's meet the teacher coordinators from the 2 schools. We will start with Feria. Nick.
Hi, this is Miss Phipps from Feria High School. She's our AP Physics 1 and 2 teacher, and she's doing a great job as our coordinator. I hear she likes turtles.
Well, glad to have you here. We'll get you some pictures of turtles later, maybe. Raymondville Early College, Lillian.
This is our sponsor, Mr. Robert Dudon. He's the technology teacher at our school, and we're happy to have him.
And we're happy to have you. Thanks for being part of the program. We appreciate both of our teacher coordinators who help the students get ready for the game today. All right, students, time for quick picks now. For this, we're going to show you pictures on your TV screens. We'll ask you questions about each one. Everybody's playing, so you do need your buzzers. Here we go. Andrew Johnson became president following the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Was Johnson a Republican, a Democrat, or a Whig? All right, Feria, is up to you.
Republican.
No, wasn't a Republican. Raymondville, anybody? All right, Joanne.
Wig?
Nope, he was a Democrat. We just need one more team, didn't we? This is an alphabet, but what alphabet is it? Feria, Nick.
Greek?
Correct. This plant is a favorite part of a koala's diet. What is it? That's Feria's up to you.
Eucalyptus.
That's correct. This woman was an icon of the civil rights movement. Who is she? That's Feria Diego.
Rosa Parks.
Correct. The country flying this flag shares a Feria's up to you.
Finland.
Yes, that's right. Name this woman whose claim to fame was founding the American Red Cross. That's Feria, Nick.
Clara Barton?
That's right. Giverny Village in France is where you'll find the garden and home of what famous French impressionistic painter? That's Feria, Nick.
Monet?
That's right. This was the scene at the beginning of one of the most famous outdoor music festivals in history when it was held in 1969. Name Feria, Nick.
Woodstock?
That is Woodstock. If you saw this sign in Europe, what would it tell you? Feria, Nick.
Speed limit?
Is what?
50
50 what?
kilometers per hour?
Exactly right. Had to get the whole thing. Was Napoleon Bonaparte born in Germany, France, or Italy? That's Feria's of deal.
Italy.
No. Raymondville, anyone? All right, Lillian.
France?
France is correct. Although the island of Corsica, where he was born, is closer to Italy, he was actually born in France. And that wraps up our quick picks for today.
Masterminds is supported in part by Navy Army Community Credit Union.
All right, so after quick picks, Feria holds the lead 150-20 over Raymondville Early College. That means Raymondville, you get to go first in the grab bag round. Dr. Rivetta has 3 envelopes from which to choose, 1, 2, and 3. You can choose any one you'd like.
3.
Number 3 it is. You've got 60 seconds to answer the 10 questions in this envelope. Okay, if you don't know one, say pass. If there's time within the 60 seconds, we'll come back to the ones you passed on. Your category is language arts. Okay, language arts. That's all we have to go by. Don't need your buzzers. We'll take the first answer we hear from the team on each one. Okay, and remember, pass if you don't know one. Here we go. Latina teens typically have a quinceañera party at what age?
15.
That's right. Originally the pseudonym of the language's creator, Esperanto means one who does what?
Pass.
What is the meaning of the Latin root word for comfort, enforce, fortitude, and fortification?
Pass.
What punctuation mark should be used to link all prefixes with proper nouns and proper adjectives?
Pass.
What Latin phrase means solid ground?
Pass.
A thesaurus lists among this two-letter word synonyms: over one's dead body and not for all the tea in China.
Pass.
Name the 1726 title character who awoke after a shipwreck to find himself tied down with string.
Gulliver.
Yes. An exception to the I before E rule is this color, a light yellowish brown.
Beige.
Yes. Denoting nasalized pronunciation, the tilde mark is placed over which letter in Spanish?
The N.
Yes, that's correct, and we're out of time, but we got it in before. All right. So we got, how many correct? 4 correct. Good job. The ones we didn't get, the pseudonym of the language's creator, Esperanto, means one who does, one who hopes. The meaning of the Latin root word for comfort and force, fortitude, and fortification is strong. The punctuation mark that should be used to link all prefixes with proper nouns and proper adjectives is hyphen. The Latin phrase for solid ground is terra firma. The thesaurus list among this two-letter word synonyms over one's dead body, not for all the tea in China, is no. And that's it. So you're up to 40 points. All right, Feria, 2 envelopes remain, 1 and 2. You can choose either one you'd like.
I think we want 2.
Number 2. All right, let's see how this goes. Same rules, 60 seconds, 10 questions. Your category is Alaska. Alaska. And he smiled. That's a good sign, all right? That's all we got to go by, 60 seconds. Here we go. This is the capital city of Alaska.
Anchorage.
No. This is the most populous city.
Anchorage.
Yes. This is Alaska's largest interior city.
Nome.
No. This city was the site of 20,000 prospectors in the early 1900s.
Pass.
Will Rogers and Wiley Post were killed there in an airplane crash.
Pass.
This Alaskan peak is the highest in North America.
Mount McKinley.
Yes. This river flows through the heart of Alaska's interior.
Yukon.
Yes. This sea is west of Alaska.
Bering Sea.
Yes. These islands are off Alaska's southwest coast.
Pass.
Spectacular oil strikes have been made in this bay off the north slope.
Pass.
Go back. This city was the site of 20,000 prospectors in the early 1900s.
Juneau.
No. Will Rogers and Wiley Post were killed there in an airplane crash.
Juneau.
No. These islands are off Alaska's southwest coast.
The Bering Islands.
No, that was the bell, right? Kind of, sort of. Okay, there's the bell, signaling the end of the round. Let's go over the other ones. The capital city is Juneau. The largest interior city is Fairbanks. The site of 20,000 prospectors in the early 1900s was Nome. Will Rogers and Wiley Post were killed in Point Barrow. The islands off the southwest coast are the Aleutians, and the spectacular oil strikes were in Prudhoe Bay. How many did we get correct? I didn't count them. 4 correct, but you up to 170 points. All right, 1 envelope remains. Nobody chose it. Let's see how we do on this one. Envelope number 1, everybody plays. You need your buzzers on this one, okay? Nobody chose liquid. That's all we get to go by, all right? Liquid, 60 seconds. Use your buzzers. Here we go. Are burns best treated with oil, tannic acid, or ice water? Leferia's up to you.
Tannic acid.
No. Raymondville, anyone? Lillian.
Ice water?
Yes. What household heating fuel also powers jet planes? Leferi, Nick.
Methane.
No? Raymondville, anyone? Time is up. Kerosene. Perfume is made by dissolving oils containing the essence of the desired aroma in A, alcohol, B, distilled water, or C, glycerin. That's Leferi, Nick.
Glycerin.
No. Raymondville, anyone? All right, Lillian?
Distilled water?
No, it's alcohol. What 3-letter word refers to a town where the selling and consumption of alcoholic beverages is allowed? What 3-letter word refers to a town where the selling and consumption of alcoholic beverages is allowed? That's Leferia's up to you. No? Anybody? Time was up. Wet. What ingredient is added to water to make tonic water? Leferi, Nick.
Carbon dioxide.
No? Raymondville, anybody? All right, Lillian.
Alcohol?
That's quinine. Name James Bond's shaken but not stirred cocktail. Leferia's up to you.
Martini.
Yes. What drink is made up of rum, coconut milk, and pineapple? Leferi, Nick.
Pina colada.
That's right. What's mixed with Kahlua to make a black Russian? It's up to you, Leferi.
Vodka.
That's right. What is Scotch whiskey primarily distilled from? Malted barley, rye, or potatoes? That's Leferi, Nick.
Barley.
Yes. What country is the world's largest importer of cognac? Leferia's up to you.
France.
No. Raymondville, anybody? And time is up. It was the U.S. Why do they know all the liquor questions? I'm not sure about that. This is a high school quiz show. Yes. That's the liquids they were hoping. I wish they'd drawn that category. All right, so our score is 210 for Feria, Raymondville 50. We're going to take a break. We come back, it'll be time for art and music. Each question worth 20 points. Don't go away. Welcome back to Masterminds. It's round one competition today. Feria and Raymondville Early College. Feria in the lead 200 to 50. Made a score adjustment during the break. It's time now for art and music. We're going to start with top art. This is for 20 points. Ask you to identify the artist of the work that comes up on your screen. This is for 20 points, the artist or the work. And time is up. That's Margaret Keene's Dewdrops is the name of that. But we have another, also for 20 points. Here we go. All right, Leferia's up to you.
Spring.
No? Anybody? And time is up. That's Renoir. That's the flower study is the name of that. So we're 0 for 2 on art. Let's try music. See how we do there. Same rules apply. Listen carefully. Identify the composer or the work. This is for 20 points. The composer or the work. That's Leferia's up to you.
Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy by Tchaikovsky.
That's right. Tchaikovsky's Sugar Plum Fairy. That's exactly right. Okay, we have another. Let's listen very carefully. The composer will work on this one. That's Feria, Nick.
Moonlight Sonata.
That's right, by Beethoven. Good job. 2 out of 2 on music. So that makes our score Feria 240, Raymondville Early College 50. We're going to take a break. We come back. It'll be time for the final stretch. We'll see which one of these two teams is moving on to the next round of competition. Don't go away. Welcome back to Masterminds. It is Feria and Raymondville Early College today. Feria's in the lead 240 to 50. It's time for the final stretch. We're going to ask questions until that final bell rings. Whoever's leading at that point moves on to the next round. So hands on your buzzers. Here we go. In a piece of wood weighing 12 ounces, if a piece of wood weighing 12 ounces is found to have a weight of 9 ounces after drying, what was the moisture content of the wood in percentage terms? That's Feria, Nick.
25%.
That's correct. The magnification of a microscope is determined by applying which mathematical process to the eyepiece and objective magnifications? Feria's up to you.
Refraction.
No? Raymond, anybody? Time's up. Multiplication. Since the early 17th century, the X and the dot have been used as signs for what? That's Feria, Nick.
Multiplication.
Yes. The word down is used as what two parts of speech in this sentence? As we threw the rock down the hill, she said, look down. That's Raymondville Lillian.
Direction?
No? Leferia's up to you.
Verb and noun.
Now, preposition and an adverb. It costs nothing to send domestic mail in this country. International mail can be sent from French or Spanish post offices. Name the country. It costs nothing to send domestic mail in this country. International mail can be sent from French or Spanish post offices. Name the country. Yeah, Leferia's up to you.
England.
No? Raymond, anybody? Then time is up. Andorra. As a verb, it means to silence someone. As a noun, it's what you'd put in his mouth to do it. What is this palindrome? Feria, Nick. No. Raymond, anybody? And time was up. I guess would be a palindrome, but no, it was gag. Gag, there you go. Okay, the Mississippi is well worth reading about, begins one of this author's books. He felt the Mississippi was well worth writing about. Can you name him and the book? The Mississippi is well worth reading about, begins one of this author's books. He felt the Mississippi was well worth writing about. Leferia's up to you.
Tom Sawyer and Mark Twain.
No. Raymond, anybody? Mark Twain was right, but it was Life on the Mississippi. On the highway, white signs are regulatory. Yellow signs relay warning. What does orange stand for? That's Feria, Nick.
Construction.
Yes. During what season did Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream take place? Feria, Nick.
Summer.
No. Raymondville. And time's up. Spring. 4 math questions for you. What's the reciprocal of the square root of 1/49th? Very Nick.
7.
Yes. The symbol which looks like a colon in punctuation is used as what symbol in mathematics? A symbol which looks like a colon in punctuation is used as what symbol in mathematics? That's Raymondville, Joanne.
Ratio?
Yes. 2 angles in the same plane have a common vertex and a common side, but have no interior points in common, are said to be what? All right, LaFeria's up to you.
Coplanar.
No? Raymondville, anybody? And time is up. Adjacent. What irrational number equals the ratio of the diagonal across a square to that square's perimeter? That's LaFeria Nick.
Square root of 2.
No. Raymondville. And time beta, or 2.81. We're out of math now. The Pascagoula River is named the Singing River because it makes a sound like a swarm of bees. In what state is this river located? All right, LaFeria's up to you.
Washington.
No? Raymondville, anybody? And time is up. Mississippi. 4 questions about chemistry. In a chemistry book, you see a solution labeled 0.07 m. What does the M stand for? LaFeria Nick.
Molar. Molarity.
Yes. Okay. It's not harmful to life unless the substance emitting it has entered the body. It's a positively charged particle made up of 2 neutrons and 2 protons bound together. LaFeria Nick.
The alpha particle.
That's right. What 2 oxidation numbers can hydrogen have? That's LaFeria Nick.
A +1, -1.
Correct. Name the 5 elements commonly called halogens. That's LaFeria Nick.
Fluorine, chlorine, iodine, bromine. That's all I got.
And no. Rainbow, anybody want to try it? And time. The 4 you mentioned plus astatine is the other one. All right. Asked what he did during France's reign of terror, Abby Sieyes replied with what 2 words? LaFeria is up to you.
Kill everyone?
No? Raymondville? Anybody? Time was up. I survived, is what he said. Which group might issue a municipal bond? Is it a public hospital, steelworkers union, savings bank, food corporation, or publishing company? Which group might issue a municipal bond? Public hospital, steelworkers union, savings bank. LaFeria is up to you.
Public hospital.
Correct. When the moon and sun are aligned on the same side of the earth, the tide caused by their combined action is higher than normal and is called a spring tide. How often does a spring tide occur? That's LaFeria Nick.
Once every 28 days.
No? Anybody? No, time is up every 14 days. To the nearest degree, how many degrees are there in 1 radian? LaFeria's up to you.
28.
No? Raymondville? And time was up 57. Who wrote the story Young Goodman Brown about a Puritan and his wife Faith? And time was up. Nathaniel Hawthorne. Which current head of state did former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice call an eye for an eye kind of guy? Time was up. Russian President Vladimir Putin. In May 2017, who did President Donald Trump say he would be honored to meet? That's LaFeria Nick.
Kim Jong-un.
That's exactly right. Accepting the telescope, name an instrument used to study the sun. Excuse me. All right, Raymondville Lillian.
The sundial?
No? Accepting the telescope, name an instrument used to study the sun. And time is up. Spectroscope, coronagraph, spectroheliograph, or a coleostat. The presence of coal deposits signifies that the area was once what? Tropical or swampy, covered with ice, submerged in the ocean, a desert floor, or part of a mountain range. That's LaFeria Nick.
Tropical or swampy.
That's correct. 4 questions, starts with D. Identify DST, a year-round adjustment first established during World War I. That's LaFeria Diego.
Daylight savings time.
Correct. Identify the African capital, and there's the bell signaling the end of our round. That doesn't matter. Our final score is LaFeria 340, Raymondville 60. That means LaFeria, you're moving on to the next round of competition. I want to congratulate all the students for a great job today. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. Thanks to our judges from UTRGV, Dr. Burke and Dr. Rivetta. Thanks for being part of the program. LaFeria, we'll see you in the next round. We'll see you at home next week for another exciting competition of Masterminds.